Welcome to Dishin Deets with Deenr on this Friday, St. Patrick's Day. Today we have our wonderful guest, Dani.LosAngeles, and he's going to talk to us all about his Disney parody park.
Hey guys, I am so excited to be here. I'm a huge fan of the show, and honestly, I've been waiting so long just to stop by and hopefully be a guest. So this is so exciting, and I have a lot of exclusives. I have some fun stuff for you guys.
Sounds great. So let's get right to it. Gosh, we're so glad to have you here with us today. So what we're going to be discussing today is your Disneyland parody park. So why don't you start off by telling us a little bit about the park?
Yeah, definitely. So I've been working on this project for a couple of years, around a year and a half, between a year and a half, 2 years. What it is it is going to be a full scale replica of the entire Disneyland park in Los Angeles. However, everything is just going to be a parody, but we will have every single building, every restaurant, every ride, attraction, and show once it's all completed.
So as you're recreating the park, how do you know what's where? Do you take pictures when you go? How do you actually put it all together so you know it matches Disneyland?
Yeah, so actually, thankfully, I grew up in a Disney family a lot of my life. I've had a season pass many of the years of my life. And even when I was a baby, my family had a season pass. They would kind of take me to Disney. So on one side, I kind of know the park like the back of my hand. I'm very familiar with the park. But also, what I do is I've actually looked up the blueprints. I've looked up photos of the buildings. I have gone on YouTube and looked up videos of the buildings, the rides, all of that. And then I've even gone as far since I've started building the park as to go to Disneyland in person and take pictures of the actual buildings that I'm building as I'm going. Which has really helped because building the building was one thing, but then scaling it exactly to size was another. So going there in person really helped with scaling it to the right size.
Got it. Okay, so you actually look at the picture, come back in here, build, look at the picture, and just keep it as a reference point.
Exactly, which is a skill that works both ways. I do sell Meta Horizon World, so I've brought in a couple companies already, and they've had me build their actual buildings, so it gives me practice
Mm.
for when I'm working with them as well.
Okay, so let's talk about that one time when the park was a little younger. Someone actually reported the world and they took the world down.
That's true. That was a nightmare. I had been building the park already for around 6 or 7 months. I had already built two sections of the park and was building my first ride, and somebody reported it. So, Meta let me know that it was reported, but they took it down, and it was actually gone for around, I want to say, a month and a half, almost 2 months. And honestly, during that time, I was so discouraged because this project is literally my pride, my joy, my baby. When
Yeah,
if I'm not working my regular job in the daytime, I get off. I'm on here kind of building. So,
right.
um, when that happened, it was very disheartening. I ended up having to do quite a bit to recover it. I mean, through the 6 weeks, I ended up sending multiple emails to Meta. I submitted multiple tickets to their ticketing system. And then thankfully, I love the community guides. They are so amazing because I probably got on their last nerve, but I kept, just going and finding them and letting them know what was going on. And thankfully they would, continue to email the team. And finally the team, they put it back up. So since then, I did email them, letting them know that if they put it back up, I would put parody in the name. And ever since then, it has been Disneyland, the parody park.
Let's switch gears for a minute and talk about what people can do when they're there. So I have actually been on some of the rides, and it does really feel like I'm at an amusement park. So let's talk rides.
Yeah, definitely. So, before I wanted to start building the actual Disney rides, and I wanted those to feel authentically like the Disney, experience. So I wanted you to really feel like you were there. So before I wanted to get into that, I wanted to build something that I built on my own to kind of just get some practice. And so what I did was I built an experience that was truly personal to me. Uh, Last year, actually, a crazy story. I lost a lot of people in my life, one of them being Tito. So shout out to Tito if you know
Mm,
who that is.
yeah.
And I actually lost last year five other people. So it was crazy.
Mm,
People who were regular in my life. And
yeah.
so that inspired the Einstein ride. So the experience, although it's a fun experience, it has a lot of, so what some people would say is trippy parts of it, and exciting parts of it, and it has a storyline. It also is near and dear to my heart, and has um, kind of a little bit of a message as
Yeah.
well, of life and happiness that comes with life. And I dedicated it when I built it to anybody who's kind of gone through that experience. So I
Yeah.
have the Albert Einstein experience, which is one ride that took me honestly over 120 hours to build. It took me around 3.5 to 4 months just for that one ride.
Wow.
Yeah, so that took quite a bit of time. I have really great reviews. I believe that one has over 100 hours of ride time, if I'm not mistaken. Uh, and then so after that, what I did was I went directly, and also with that, I wanted that one to really feel authentically Disney, even though it was created by myself, because I am a huge Disney fan. So I'm
Yeah.
hoping with that one day it would be so amazing if I could get Disney's attention, and maybe, that's like, that would be something that they would want to kind of implement into their park. That would be my biggest dream and goal, if anything, out of this.
That would be amazing. And I've
Yeah.
been on that ride. I loved it. Another
Thank you.
one that I loved was the Indiana Jones ride that you have.
Yeah, so actually, that was the next one that I built. That one's over in Adventureland. So the Indiana Jones ride is a ride that is only, I believe, in the Disneyland Los Angeles park. So it's not something that you would see in Disney World or Disneyland Paris. It is only for the Los Angeles park, and it's something where you kind of get to experience feeling like you're in the movie of Indiana Jones. It's something that you kind of you get the full vibe of it. And then what you're doing realistically is you're kind of going through a temple and you're trying to escape a curse from a god. So it's a really fun time.
Yeah, that one is really fun. And then there's one more that you have in there as well.
Yeah, so there's also the Jungle Cruise, which is called the Jungle Cruiser for parody. Just like Indiana Jones, we have used the name Indiana Jeans.
Right.
So for the Jungle Cruiser, that is a ride that I believe they have at Disneyland, or Disney World, and a few other parks. However, I wanted to add my own twist. It's a little bit of an older ride at the park, and so there's a couple animatronics in the ride, but I wanted to really take that story and bring it to life. So I kind of put my own twist on it. I've put in some of my own jokes. I used some of Disney's jokes and try to make it a little bit more personable. And then I tried to implement some things that could only be done in the metaverse that maybe they couldn't do in the park themselves.
Yeah, and I have been on that ride and I got to tell you, I was mesmerized. I really was mesmerized. All of the rides you have in there so far are so great. And I got to tell you that Jungle Cruiser, there was a part in there that actually really touched my heart, and it was, gosh, I just want people, go there because it's definitely worth it.
Thank you so much. I
So,
appreciate that. Yeah, I really wanted it to be magical.
yeah, and it so is. And you do have more rides on the way.
Definitely. So currently, I've actually been spending more time building the Star Tours ride than I have any other ride. I'm really trying to get the details of this one down stat. So when you once you feel that you enter that world, I really want you to feel like you're actually looking at all the details that you would be able to see anywhere that you turn.
Wow. That's incredible.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
So, when someone comes to your Disneyland parody park, I know that they're going to see like the main entrance, but can you tell them what to expect when they go down Main Street?
Yeah, definitely. So how it works is it's very meta, I like to say, because it's a world within a world within a world. So Disneyland itself is obviously way too large to put inside one metaverse world. So what we do, or what I've done is I've taken the front entrance of the park, which is, you type in Disneyland, the parody park on your main screen. That's how you enter there. And from there, you can kind of ride on the train, which is kind of a little bit of a kiddie ride compared to some of the other rides, but very fun still. And then from that, you would go into Main Street. And on Main Street, that's really when you get to write your own story and you get to determine kind of your own fate. What kind of world do you want to go into? Because Disneyland from that point gives you the option to go into like Tomorrowland, which is already the outside of Tomorrowland is complete, but we're still building the rides inside, or I'm still building the rides inside. It's pretty much what Tomorrowland is about: time travel, space travel, futuristic technology, really looking to, the world of tomorrow and what that might look like.
Right.
With that world, I really, inside Disneyland, they built that one quite a while ago. So personally, I kind of feel like you're looking at some of tomorrow's technology, but built in the 90s.
Right.
So what I tried to do was really go through there, retouch the lighting, and give it some really fun features that aren't actually in Disneyland so that you have a little bit more when you're walking around, but while keeping it authentically, feeling exactly the same, keeping all the pieces where they're supposed to be, just kind of changing the lighting and the mood and the way things move a little bit.
Right.
Next one that's already completed is Adventureland. So that one's a little bit smaller than Tomorrowland, but that one's based off of more a rainforest type vibe, going between a rainforest and an Aztec, temple type vibe. So inside the Adventureland, you're going to feel kind of like you're in a little bit of maybe like an island oasis or on a riverbed. So I have a lot of people that kind of just hang out there by the river just to enjoy the ambiance, really.
Mm-hmm.
But in there, you're going to find rides like the Indiana Jones ride, which is in there. And then you're also going to find the Jungle Cruise ride, which is in there.
Oh, okay. So two rides are in Adventureland
Exactly. Two rides
world.
are going to be in that one world. From there, that's actually going to connect over to where Pirates of the Caribbean and Haunted Mansion are. So you're going to have to kind of walk eventually through Adventureland to get over to New Orleans Square. So it's going to be, quite the walking.
Oh, wow. That's really cool. Like I said, I've been on these rides that are currently in there and looking forward to the next ones that are coming. But I will tell you, I see the detail and the effort that was put into all of these worlds in a world. And honestly, it's one of the best crafted worlds I've seen in Horizon.
I really appreciate it. It means a lot because I really want to make people feel the happiness that Disneyland is trying to portray. They want to be the happiest place on in the world. I want to be the happiest place in the metaverse. So
Yeah, I think you've accomplished that. You've you've done a great job. You've done a great job.
thank you so much. So, a couple other honorable mentions that I should throw in are things like the Mickey
Sure.
Mouse hats, which are the Mickey Mouse hats currently. You can find a few of them up in the main street, the front park. We have a hat store. There's also, though, going to be a few hidden in each of the worlds. So you can test a few of them over in Tomorrowland currently. But what we're going to do is we're going to have a few themed Mickey Mouse hats for each different world. So if it's something more like Tomorrowland, it might be something like planets, in the the shape of Mickey Mouse ears floating above your head. Or if it's something like maybe where you're underwater, you might have more of like a Little Mermaid or Finding Nemo themed ear. And eventually you'll be able to find them all and collect achievements as you go along the way.
Great. That sounds fun.
Yeah, have a little bit of a game while you're going to your rides. And then obviously we're going to throw in some shows as well. I'm super excited to build the fireworks show. Currently waiting for Horizon to figure out the whole sound situation. But
Yeah.
once they figure that out, that's the first show that I'm going to be building. So
Very cool. Very cool.
thanks.
So you're currently working on Star Tours. And from what I understand, you want to give me a sneak peek into the ride as it's currently, under construction. You're working on it, but you want to give me a sneak peek. I understand there's only been a couple other people that have seen this, so you want to give us an exclusive here on Dishin Deets.
And you're going to be one of the very first.
Sweet. I'm excited. Okay, why don't we go over there and I'll give all of our viewers my thoughts on it.
Oh, that sounds amazing. I'm so excited.
Okay. All right. I'm excited too. Okay. So let's go on location with Star Tours. Okay. So I'm here with Dani.LosAngeles on St. Patrick's Day, no less. Happy St. Patrick's Day. And
we're in our group.
Yeah. So I'm here in the Star Wars tours. And this is amazing. So we have C3PO here. We have BB-8. We have R2-D2. And so many sounds that are familiar and fun. And I can't wait for you to experience this. So I've been able to get as far as you've been able to get. And he is going to keep building this ride for you. So thank you, Dani.LosAngeles, for giving me the special tour of your new ride.
Yeah, definitely. You're so welcome. Thank you. I'm glad that you enjoyed it.
Yeah,
it's been so fun having you along.
Yeah, this was so much fun. And I can't wait for you guys to experience it. But you do have to come here before that and go on all the other rides.
So I'll probably have it open in the next 4 weeks, hopefully.
So we are back from Star Tours, and that was so much fun. Can you tell a little bit more about what's coming? I know you can't share a lot because it's not unveiled to the public yet, but I'm very excited about this ride. You guys, it's so much fun.
Yeah, so right now I have the full queue line, as you saw. So we have some fun characters, C3PO, R2-D2, BB-8. And then so right now we're making a few more characters. And I think that it's really going to be out of this world. I can definitely tell you that. You're going to kind of get a little bit of flying through space. You might stop by and see maybe another planet. And, well, you might stop by and see some more iconic things from the movie, but I won't give away too much on that front.
Of course. Thank you so much for taking me.
Definitely. It actually was so much fun having you along and going for the ride with you.
Oh, thanks. So I think that'll conclude our show for the day. So thank you, Dani.LosAngeles, for being with us today.
Yeah, no, thank you so much. I had so much fun exploring with you, talking with you, hanging out. Can't wait for next time.
Yeah, we had so much fun. And thank you for joining us. And we will see you next time on Dishin Deets with Deenr.